Hello, hi everyone. Hi, I'm Rock. Today, in today's video or live stream, I'll be sharing you folks a video or my live stream on Twitch that I recently did on assembling the engine drive pulley belt onto the engine of the JK Max. So basically, this is kind of new. I'm gonna play the video and I'm gonna. But it already has commentary while I'm assembling the engine drive pulley. So I'm just gonna watch it along with you folks, and then probably if anyone have questions or questions to ask me, go ahead and do it in the chat. And I'll answer them while we're watching the video. So like I said, this is all new. I'm experimenting. The only way to survive in this world is to be willing to evolve or adapt to changes. So let's get to it. This video, I'll be doing a rebuild on my Capo JK Max RC Taylor rock crawler. I'll be actually installing this. Belt pulley drive, or the engine belt pulley to the engine itself. This right here. Let me get this capo out of the way. As you can see, taking the capo apart. So grab it here and here. Actually, this is the engine belt pulley. It's an optional part, doesn't come with the kit. What this consists of, it comes with this small little engine right here. The mounting screws, ball bearings, washers, O-rings, your rubber belt, and your connector to your receiver, so she can control the engine. And then you have your pulleys. Belt. Here's a small engine. Actually, you run this parallel to this your engine that you use in this transmission or engine. Right now, I think this is a Tekin brush 30 turn crawler motor. guys. And ho! Let there be light. Making this way more complicated than it should be. For the flat part, lining up that screw there side. to make sure bushings are installed. There's Hey there, bought your first RC. Congratulations, my friend. Guess we have to do some soldering. Okay, so wait for the solder to heat up. In the meantime, yeah, I took the JK Jeep apart. I'm gonna rebuild it. I'm planning to paint. So it just goes on the engine cover. valve cover. I'm gonna paint these. I already repainted the hood, windshield, the front windshield, and also have the dashboard. I'm going to paint this also. Not too sure what color I'm gonna paint it yet. And the center console, paint this, and of course seats. That's it. Negative. It does. So negative, and it's just positive. Hey Charles, welcome to the live stream. Hope things are well in your neighborhood. Thanks for the support, buddy. Glad to hear everything is good. Ready then. Actually, we could actually. Oh. click scratch. Okay, so looks a bit of view. So I just installed it on my channel 5. Use auxiliary E, three-position switch on my controller, my photography controller. When I flip the change the position on the switch, if you wanted to, actually could use a throttle for some reason. If it's in a neutral position, it goes. Once you turn it on, once you either move the throttle stick either way, it starts going. For whatever reason, neutral is the go. Okay, so now folks a general idea. Right. Here's tranny, the engine, transfer case, tranny, and the engine. Up close look. And then on the belt pulley, drive belt pulley. So pretty cool. Go ahead and just Okay, so I'm gonna pause the video right here. The only issue that I have doing my live stream like this is that I can't listen to the audio coming from the video because the way the live stream is set up. But I hope you folks enjoyed this live stream on assembling the engine drive belt pulley for the JK Max, the Capo JK Max. Like I said, this is just an experimental live stream or video. Just getting back into YouTube or making videos or making content again is like trying to ride the bike. when you haven't I mean, like relearning again. Trying to yeah, it's like a new journey. I think the other day I went out and tried to fly FPV again, and that was pretty interesting. But with the situation we're currently in the world, that you can't just go to a park and start flying. Guess you have to be very discreet, find a secretive place to go fly, and rip it up. But yeah, looking forward to flying again. FPV drone. It's interesting how when I first started FPV drone racing, it was actually called just drone racing. Then it was called and it's gone through so many different iterations or different way people call it. FPV drone racing, FPV drone freestyling. Now people are calling it just FPV drone, and then some people are calling it I guess they're trying to make it mainstream, so they're putting cinematic, the word cinematic to the FPV drone thing. I guess people, from my experience when I first started FPV drone racing or FPV drones, I think people saw it as a big thing, the next big thing. As time went on, it didn't catch on mainstream. Just there was just a small little niche. I wouldn't say called small little niche, but there was a niche, and people tried to get a piece of pie of that niche. And I think people they really rushed into it. Into everybody, like, was it when people are trying to get sorry for my voice, but I think technology is moving so fast that people didn't properly test the product or the technology, and then poof, things went up in flames and people got frustrated. I see a lot of FPV drone companies when I don't think a lot of them went out of business, and a very few of them are still in the business, but not too many. I guess just to share with you folks one instance. I went to I built this drone the other day. Just saw the spare parts. You can call it a Frankenstein drone, and it's old parts. And for the life of me, I couldn't get it to fly. Or I couldn't get it to run. I mean, I don't know, kind of strange, but that's fun on a whole nother video. I'll probably do that, but anyways, I don't know why I'm talking to FPV drones, but yeah, I have a lot of cool stuff planned ahead for this channel and for my live stream. I think but it's all like experiments, so nothing concrete. I may try something. It may be temporary. It may last forever. Who knows? But that's how you only can move forward in life and get better is through taking risk and try to experiment. So yeah, I think the future is gonna be pretty interesting. Who knows what's gonna happen, right? That's the best part of taking a journey in life, is the unknown. Nothing is ever concrete. Nothing is ever, everything is a success as long as you're willing to accept failure and learning from failure. Failure is not a bad thing. It's probably the greatest thing that can ever happen to you. Failure is only a bad thing if you just give up and don't learn from it. But if you learn from it and you improve and you get better, the sky's the limit. Or the potential is learn from them. Everybody has that talent in them, or that passion. I think you always, when you start something, you have to be passionate about it. You have to love doing it, and that's where you have to start. Is your passion, your love for something, no matter what it is in life. Only you know what you're passionate about or what you love in life. As long as you are very passionate about something, you're gonna persevere. You're not gonna give up, and you're gonna continue to be driven, motivated to overcome those failures and learn from it. But that's anything in life, whether it's your relationship with your significant other, your career, your job, your hobby. You know, as long as you're passionate and you love doing something, you're gonna be successful. It may take a long journey, but the journey may be long. But that's the greatest thing about life, because when you reflect back at it, you're like, wow, I came a long way. And that's me. When I first started this YouTube channel, what started as a hobby turned into a passion, and I became obsessed with it. When I first started making videos, all I wanted to do is to make run videos. I wasn't gonna showcase myself or get in front of the camera, because I hate being in front of the camera. Always have, but I knew when you look at your analytics in YouTube, you kind of like, well, I ain't growing a following just making run videos. And then when I started getting in front of the hope my mic's on, but when I started getting in front of the camera, that's when I noticed my following started to increase on my subscribers. So I was like, well, I think people rather watch me than watch my run videos or my build videos. So you have to, like, say, you have to be willing to evolve and say, I can't just keep making run videos or build videos. I have to get in front of the camera, give people a face, give them an idea who they're looking at, talking to. Kind of gives that that extra substance. So yeah, got in front of the camera, and eventually you show your true self, your true personality. I think for me, I'm not for everybody. I know that. I'm very passionate. I'm very driven. When I first started making YouTube videos, I used to take comments very personal, and sometimes everybody, you're good as you're good. Your good equals your bad, and your bad equals your good. So as as much as you're good, you're as equally as bad. And I am very driven. I'm very, very passionate, and sometimes I do get frustrated. But just the part of me. You have to care, and you definitely have to care about yourself, because where it all begins and starts is yourself. You have to take care of yourself first before you can take care of anybody else. And you cannot apologize for being you, or whether people take it negatively or positively, it doesn't matter. You have to do what is you and be true to yourself, because if you try to be something you're not, because people see it, you can't hide it. So it's funny because ever since I got back into YouTube again, I've been watching a lot of videos, and I've been it's just like content creators, I guess they like to call YouTubers now, or Twitchers, or live streamers, whatever you want to call it, or even like Instagram or Twitter, around Facebook. It is everybody does the same content, right? Everybody does the same content. You see some kind of video, some kind of content that's very successful on YouTube. You will see thousands and maybe millions of other videos are pretty much basically the same thing. You know, one thing in life is like great artists steal other great content or great artists and make it their own and share it with other people. And yeah, it's kind of funny that way, but that's the way life works. So yeah, you know, when I was watching, you know, like a lot of people do say, so it's well, I guess for me it's like eventually it gets old and gets boring. You're like, you know, I think people should just make their own content, be original, and that's what I try to do. I try not to, you know, I think at one point in time I did try to emulate a lot of YouTubers. I'm not gonna name certain channels. I think people can figure that out, but yeah, I try to emulate a lot. Emulate a lot of YouTubers instead of just trying to be unique and be my individual self or be my own content creator. I think it's okay to take a little bits and pieces of something from other people and, you know, like I said, just make it your own. But now when I reflect and looking forward, I'm gonna try to be myself, be unique. So I have a lot of interesting plans ahead of that I envision for my, not only for my YouTube channel but for my Twitch channel. Also, I'm gonna start making videos on my other YouTube channel, which basically is just I Rock. I'm still gonna create content for this channel, I Rock RC. I'm still gonna stick to the RC videos, whether it be, you know, scale videos or rock crawling videos, FPV drone videos, FPV cinematic drone videos, whatever whatever anything related to radio control, right? RCs or I'm still gonna continue to do that on this channel. Other channel, I'm basically gonna be diverse, do a lot of different content. You know, I have so much knowledge and information that I want to share with people, and that's what basically what my vision is for my two channels and on Twitch is to you know, share my knowledge and information for people to be successful in life. I think that's the, you know, that is the goal, that is the mission, and that is the motivation. Because I am okay. I am okay in this road. You know, I don't have to make videos. I don't have to become a big YouTuber or a big Twitch channel. I am fine. I am well off. I mean, I may not be a millionaire, you know, but I am good. And life is best when you're just good, right? I have enough to put food on my table, enough to have a roof over my head, enough to have transportation from taking me from point A to point B, enough to share and make content for you folks. That's all that really matters in life. If I do become big, fine, great. And then I'm willing to share that with other people, share my success, and so that way other people can be successful in life. Yeah, interesting. That's all I ever intended when I started my YouTube channel. But it just became like, you know, sometimes you have to control your obsession. Because when you get obsessed over something, man, you like say when you put all your eggs in one basket, that's when you get into trouble. And it's interesting because yeah, I became obsessed and I just tried to look for the next greatest thing, next greatest RC, and without, you know, you have to be willing to complete something first, then move on to the next, you know, one step at a time, or one build at a time, or one RC at a time, or one FPV at a time. As you can see, I didn't make any videos when I started my Capo Ace 1 build. I just mostly focused and concentrated on the Capo Ace 1 build, and hope you folks like that build series or build content. And now moving on to the JK Max. I might go a little bit swervy here, but that's the whole reason. But I try to be disciplined and stay on the course and not take any U-turns or left turns or right turns, and just stay focused and concentrate on that build, finish it. It is will I ever do a run video? Yes, I will do a run video on the Capo Ace one. Maybe not on the one particular build. As you know, I have two Capo Ace ones, so I'll probably do it on my other Capo Ace one. But I do have like cool ideas on how to do the run videos, to tell you the truth. And it's just a matter of time, just waiting for things to come in the willing to pull the trigger and invest on those products. Sometimes usually when summer times rolls along, which is pretty much in a couple weeks, I guess, and then especially in July, that's when manufacturers come out with new products. So I just have to be patient and be willing to say, okay, do I wait for new products to come out, or do I just bite the bullet and order new products now? I mean, not order new order the current products that are available now, and then accept the fact that if I invest in the current product, that in the next couple months they're gonna come out with a new iteration, the next big thing, right? So that's the conundrum, or that's the anomaly, or that's the challenge of trying to like ask yourself, okay, do I buy the current product that's out now? Because I know if I'm gonna pull the trigger and buy the current product they have now, in a couple months they're gonna come out the new product with all these fancy functions and features, maybe a different look, and then be like, do I regret it, right? So that's the challenge I have right now, that I'm facing, is do I pull the trigger now or do I wait? And also what I have coming is I have a couple samples or prototypes that I'll be sharing with you folks. Part of it's in the FPV, most of it is in the FPV drone related, and also I am looking into RC parts, whether it be brush or brushless motors, ESCs, what else out there? Option parts for certain RCs, even maybe developing an RC scaler out there. So I'm talking to different manufacturers to see what they can do for me. But I mean, it's just looking into it. I don't know if I'm ever gonna pull the trigger, or like I said, because when you do prototypes or samples, even those cost a lot. Not only that, if you gonna pull the trigger and do production, mass production, you're gonna have to invest a lot of money into it, and you don't know if it's gonna sell. People, it's unique because people are different. We come from all different parts of the world. We're all different. We all like different things. What you may see as the next big thing, a million others may not see it the same way as you. So now that is pretty interesting. I think people sometimes are hesitant to invest in things or to put money into something if they're not sure. Yeah. Especially when it becomes like into the $1,000 range. Yeah, I think the range for people to really pull the trigger is between $200 to $300. When it becomes like $500, it's like, whoa, is it worth that much to invest in that particular product? 500, yeah, you're on the borderline there. That's a lot of products are, no matter if it's RCs or cameras or anything, any product out there, when it's like 200 to 300, people are willing to spend the money, without hesitation. But when it becomes over 300, when you say it's 399, 400 or 499, that's that scheme. That's the marketing scheme, right? 99, right? Instead of saying it $500, 499, because 499 looks a lot less than $500, right? Or 299 looks a lot less than 300, right? So because you think you're saving $1,000 less, $1,000 is the what you call like people say if they can save 1,000, save 100. I'm sorry for the mistake, but if people can look at it, they think they're saving 100. They think they're saving a lot, which they're really not. They're saving just $91. But to the eyes and to the perception and to our mind, we think we're saving $100. So it's easier to pull the trigger on $299 than 300. So that's the marketing scheme thing. How I know? Because I have experience, because I've been in the marketing world before. But anyways, when it's 500, people are skeptical. They be like, I gotta think hard about this one if I'm willing to invest. Is this product good enough to spend $500? Now, when it comes to when it's reached the level of 1,000, you're like, whoa, back up now. Whoa, back up here. Oh, $1,000. I don't know about that one. So, people, you have a small percent. Now you're looking at the 10%. That's from the people that are willing to spend $500 to the people who are willing to spend $1,000. Now it drops to 10%, and it's a actual fact and data that 10% people are less willing to spend $1,000 than the ones that are willing to spend $500. And when you say you go from $200 price, and then it drops. Actually, they say there's 100 people willing to spend on a product that's cost $200, right? So when you go from 200 to 500, it probably drops to 50%, and that from that 50%, it drops to 10%, which is only from the 100 people, 5 people. From when you go 200 to 1,000, so 100 people that are willing to spend 200. When you go to 1,000, it drops down to only 5 people, and that's big. That's really big when you look at the whole overall scheme of thing. That's a big deal. I think that's why a lot of RC manufacturers, I'm not going to name certain ones, but that's why they don't stay in business, and they struggle. You look at the Capo JK Max. When that first came out, that thing listed at $2,499. Oh my god. Now you look, you're really at not even 1%, at the 0.5%. That's even 0.1% of people willing to spend, and I was part of that 0.1%. It was an awesome RC. Did it have its flaws? Oh yes, it did. It definitely did. But that's the price I was willing to pay for the next great thing, right? And it was the next great thing. I think Capo was onto something. It's just that the price point was totally not for everybody. So yeah, that's part of marketing, part of when you look at trying to sell products online or anywhere in the world. Price point is very, very, very important. But the most important thing is the product has to work. Not only it has to work, but it has to be simple, like plug and play. You look at a product and you say, oh, okay. It doesn't take a rocket genius to figure it out, how to work it, how to make it work. Maybe a kindergarten or even a tech 3-year can figure how to work, figure out how to make it work. And that takes me back to FPV drone. I think the biggest downfall for FPV drone, when you build those small quads, is you have to build it from scratch. It kind of like it's like and that's why DJI products are so popular, or was popular back then, and it continues to be popular because it's simple, right? It's plug and play. literally the quad, flights itself, the drone flights itself, right? But FPV drone racing is pretty much you have to be the pilot, and that is the reason why a lot of these when people try to get their pilot's license and hopefully become a commercial pilot. That's why they have to log in a lot of hours, and it takes time. You're looking at easy. You're spending at least 5 years to at least even consider be a commercial pilot, and you have to log in a lot of times. That's why they require you to have so much flight time, because and that goes to show like everything in life, that the more you practice something, the better you're gonna get. Some people, they'll catch on real quick, and some people it may take a longer time to get good at something. But if you keep practicing, you're gonna get better, because your mind will process that information eventually, and it will just click like that. Look at me. I mean, when when I started FPV drone racing, it took me a while to fly that thing, but I never, because I was so passionate about it, because I loved it. It goes back to what I've been saying earlier. When you're passionate about something, when you love something, you're willing to go through all that adversity, and eventually you get better. So long you're willing to persevere, and that's why and I went off base here, but off track. But that's that's why FPV drone racing hasn't become mainstream, because it's not easy, right? First off, if you get into it, you have to be willing to learn how to build and to solder. And soldering is not easy. I mean, it's soldering is pretty tough, but once you get it, it's soldering is just a piece of cake. But yeah, learning how to build one, and then flying in itself, it takes a lot of money to. Yeah, there'll be many crashes, many parts to be replaced. So that's why FPV drone. That's what's holding FPV drone racing become mainstream, is the complication of building and flying. You can the learning part, you can probably go on a sim, but a sim is not the same thing as flying the drone itself, man. It's totally different. Like for me, like when I first started FPV drone racing, technology wasn't there yet, and I bought all these ready to fly drones, and it didn't fly. It flew like crap. And they're spending easy $300 to $500 on a drone that I couldn't get to fly. I mean, yeah, like the storm racing drones when I first started, and I went to easy spending $5,000 just to on those drones, just to try to even learn how to fly line of sight. Not until I discovered Flyduino and Kiss, and that's when it just changed everything for me. But yeah, I know I ran this video long. It's gonna be in over an hour, but I hope you folks enjoyed this live stream. Like I said, I have pretty cool content coming for pretty cool content planned for this channel. I don't know if I ever will get to it, but hopefully I will. Hope you folks enjoyed the assembly of the Capo JK Max engine, drive, pulley, belt. So till my next live stream, take care and aloha. Chaka. Out.